Good evening and welcome to the Rich Rebel Volleyball pregame show brought to you by the town of Randolph. We are broadcasting live from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth where the Rich Rebels volleyball team will take on the Panguitch Bobcats here at the Richfield tournament. The first serve is scheduled for about 20 minutes from now. You listen to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
At Rich School District, we believe that success motivates individuals, and every student is capable of learning. We believe an effective classroom facilitates learning. We believe in the development of lifelong learners, and we believe that a quality education makes a difference. Student involvement equals student success. Currently, 93% of Rich High students participate in extracurricular activities. Rich School District, providing a quality, well-rounded education for each student.
You're invited to come in and visit with the team at Cache Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley today. Our customers are our friends. If you haven't ever been in, stop in today. We'd love to get to know you. If you haven't been in for a while, stop in and let's get caught up. And if you were here yesterday, come back again soon. You always have an open invitation to visit the crew at Cache Honda Yamaha, where our customers are our friends, on US 91 between Logan and Smithfield.
When you drive on the best tires that are rotated, balanced, and inflated properly, you can save money two ways. The best tires can reduce wear and tear on your vehicle. That saves you money in the long run. The best tires can also improve your overall miles per gallon. That helps you save every time to fill up at the pump. At Freeway Tire in Evanston, we offer the best tires with the best service for every vehicle. Make sure you're running on the best tires you can. Visit Freeway Tire today, 217 Bear River Drive, Evanston. Randolph, Utah is a town of extremes. At an elevation of 6,300 feet, with temperatures over 90 in the summer and often 40 below in the winter, the folks who call Randolph home have to be a hardy crew. Maybe that is one reason why the simple things in life mean so much to Rich County. Residents value hard work, education, a value for God, family, and country, and being a good neighbor. Mayor Sim Bell and the town board, Melanie Lim, Clay Barker, Brandon Hatch, and Frank Sano, support the Rich Rebels and hope that you can come back often.
Welcome back to the Rich Rebel Volleyball pregame show brought to you by the town of Randolph. Today, the Lady Rebels take on the Panguitch Bobcats here at the Richfield tournament. We're broadcasting live from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. Coming up, we're going to take a look at the scene set for today's game brought to you by the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau. Bear Lake, Utah, and Idaho. Plan your vacation today. Visit bearlake.org. And once again, we're going to have an abbreviated pregame show as they are almost through, about halfway through warm-ups. I want to reiterate to all the listeners out there, unfortunately, we don't have the video streaming rights to this tournament. We tried to see if we could work something out to where we could stream it with the video stream. Unfortunately, we're just audio only. But with that, we're still going to be able to broadcast the game, and this should be a great one between the Rebels and the Bobcats. We'll be right back after this.
This presentation on mylocalradio.com is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. With over 3 decades of experience, Dr. Todd Hoover can help you with all the chiropractic work you need, plus x-rays, blood work, a weight loss program, and can help you get rid of allergies and migraines. Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic in Evanston.
As one of the region's most visited websites, mylocalradio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Check the weather forecast or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit mylocalradio.com today to stream it all live.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Rebels! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
When you think think Bear Lake, think family, fun, fishing, beaches, boats, green, and great food. Think water, wildlife, trails, and shakes, snow, scenery, and sun. Think summer. Go to bearlake.org and plan your visit today. Visit Scenic Idaho.
Welcome back to the Rich Rebel Volleyball pregame show brought to you by the town of Randolph. Today the Lady Rebels take on the Panguitch Bobcats. We are broadcasting live from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. It is time for the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau scene set for today's game. It's pretty simple. Number 1 versus number 2 in 1A volleyball. This could be a preview of the state championship match when we get to the state tournament. This is going to be a very good, very intense match as they're warming up for the serves. We're not going to be able to get much more of the pregame show in, but I do want to mention that Stacy's Repair, they sponsor our pregame coaches show. We want to thank them for that. Unfortunately, we can't get the coaches show in today. We don't have, and during tournament play, it's hard to get interviews with the head coaches just because they have so much going on. The last thing they really need to worry about is some media person hounding them with a microphone. And it's doubly hard to get the opposing coach because typically it takes a couple days to set up an interview with the opposing coach just because we don't have all the access in the world to them. But I also want to mention Ellingford Brothers, who sponsor our standout student. This week it was Violet Taylor. Had a very good conversation with Violet, and we had that as part of our broadcast for the football game, that conversation with Violet Taylor. But I also want to thank Western Ag for sponsoring our starting lineups once again because we don't have access to the floor. We really can't get the starting lineups. I can go ahead and take a guess based on who's on the bench, who the Rebels are going to start, and who they've started almost all year. It's probably going to be Nia Jolly, Darlene Peterson, Casey Wilson, Ellie Argyle, Hannah Scott, and Violet Taylor to start for the Rebels. But for the Bobcats, it's a lot harder to tell just because I don't know the players. I have a roster in front of me. I don't have their starters. So we want to thank Western Ag Credit for sponsoring the starting lineups. We also want to thank Town of Randolph for sponsoring the pregame show, Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau for sponsoring the scene set, which we are in the middle of right now. We're actually about to start the game as the players run under the net and they slap hands. One thing I do want to point out is the Rebels bench is a little short today because the JV team, I know if they're not playing right now, they're probably listening because I know they were distraught when they found out they couldn't watch the game on their phones or via the internet just because we don't have the video rights. But they played in a tournament at ICS. We're going to try to find some results. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get any. But looks like we're about to get going. We're going to go to the live cam for set 1 as we reset the station on main scoreboard. Before we get started, I want to remind you that all beginning serves are brought to you by Pam Corney at Town & Country Realty, Kills by Bear Lake Realty, Aces by the Crawford Troth, Blocks by Epic Recreation, Digs by the Town of Woodruff, the Fan Cam by Bear Lake Realty, and the scoreboard is brought to you by the station on Main. As the officials are going over the book, and we do have a clarification. I got it from head coach Wendy Lamborn herself about what happened at the beginning of the third set. Even coaches are human. Even a coach like Wendy Lamborn is human, and she made a mistake on the official on her rotation that she turned into the scorer's table. Fortunately, she's able to rectify it, and it only cost the Rebels a point. But that's what ended up happening. That's why the Panthers started that third set with an extra point. I thought I was going maybe a little bit crazy and that I'd miss something, but looks like the Rebels are about to get underway with the Bobcats as officials give last-second instructions for the Bobcats. Out on the floor to start, number 13, Oakley Woolsey. As Violet Taylor gets us underway, we'll get to the players on the court for the Bobcats in a second. Woolsey, she'll go ahead and get us started with the first kill of the game as she spikes that ball to the floor. As, of course, that Panthers logo is supposed to be a Panguitch logo. We'll fix that in a second as Bobcats take a quick 1-0 lead. As at the service stripe, that's going to be an ace for Adeline Engelstead as that ball hit the top of the net, falls to the floor right in front of the back row. Nothing the Rebels can really do about that. As Engelsted's serve is dug out by Darlene Peterson, Casey Wilson sets up Peterson with the left-hand attempt. That's going to go out of bounds across the court from the left wing. She tried to attack the right wing, and the Bobcats lead 3-0 to start the ball game. As will be Engelstad to serve again. We are in the middle of a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of the Rebels against the Bobcats as Peterson tips it over. No one in the vicinity. As Darlene Peterson picks up her first Bear Lake Realty kill. As the serve goes over the net, Bobcats receive. They're going to attack from the middle of the floor off the arms of Argyle. It's going to go out of bounds. As it'll be number 2, Katie Harlan to serve. To round out the players on the court, you got 11. That's Maddie Fransden. Serve goes over the net, dug out by Peterson. Peterson's going to attack from the left wing. She tries to tip it down. That's going to be diving effort in the back row by Henry. Keeps it alive. Ball goes over the net. Rebels have it. Argyle attacks from the middle of the floor. Right to the arms of Debbie Jean Henry. She's going to be the libero for the Bobcats as the Rebels attack again. This time two-handed effort from Peterson. Nicely dug out in the back row by the Bobcats. They're going to safely play it over. Violet Taylor gets a town of Woodruff dig. They set up Peterson. Her left wing attack is into the net. And the Rebels trail 4-1 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As that ball goes over, dug out by Peterson. Rebels on the attack. Argyle from the middle of the floor, off the arms of a couple Bobcats players, down to the floor. Rebels pick up the point. They trail by 2 on the Station on Main scoreboard here in set 1. As that was a nice attack there from Ellie Argyle. She won't technically get a kill because 2 Bobcats touched it, but for all intents and purposes, that point should be credited to her. As Nia Jolly serves, dug out in the back row by Henry. That ball is going to be attacked from the left wing by Mallory Henry. That's going to fall in for a kill. Station on Main scoreboard now reads 6-2, the Bobcats over the Rebels as we update the Station on Main scoreboard. It's Debbie Jean Henry to serve. Dug out in the back row by the Rebels. Argyle attacks, blocked at the front of the net. They're going to call into the net against the Bobcats. It'll be Rebels point as Darlene Peterson steps up to the service stripe. Peterson will serve from the left wing. Gets final instructions from the official. Lets it go. That's into the net. A little bit of a sloppy start for the Rebels to start the game as they are trailing 7-3 to the Bobcats, who, of course, this is a matchup right now between number 1 and 2 in the RPI rankings. As the serve from the Bobcats is Jocelyn Griffin, the sophomore. Argyle's going to attack from the right wing, and that's going to fall as Ellie Argyle picks up her first Bear Lake Realty kill of the game. Checking the ball game for the Rebels, number 41, Hannah Scott. Ellie Argyle to serve. Ball goes over the net. Dug out in the back row by Harland. Bobcats on the attack. It's going to go long, out of bounds across the right wing sideline. Station on Main scoreboard now reads the Rebels trailing by 2, 7-5 here in the first set. As that ball tried to escape down the hallway here at the SVC Center at Snow College. There's a tunnel on each corner for all the players to come in and out of. That ball was in the tunnel. That's going to be a Crawford Troth ace for Ellie Argyle. She picks up the first ace of the ball game for the Rebels. They now trail 7-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Argyle picks up the ace and she'll serve again. She's going to attack from the middle of the floor. Lets it go. Harlan in the back row digs it out for the Bobcats. They attack on the left wing. Number 12, Tabitha Henry. As there are 3 players with the last name Henry. It'd be Mallory Henry, Tabitha Henry, and Debbie Jean Henry as that ball falls to the floor on the Rebel side. Bobcats get the point. Trying to find the player serving. She's completely underneath me as that serve goes into the net. That was indeed Tabitha Henry as that ball falls. Interesting thing is all of the players with the last name Henry are all in different grades. Wilson will serve for the Rebels. Bobcats have the ball. They attack on the near side. Blocked to the front of the net by Hannah Scott. Bobcats look to set up the attack again. They're going to have to just tip it over. Nice diving effort from Scott to keep it alive. Ball goes over to the Bobcats side. They're going to have to punch it over. There's Wilson of the town of Woodruff Dig. They go to Violet Taylor on the left wing side. She punches it over with the left hand. Ball back on the floor. Casey Wilson diving effort, but just couldn't quite get to it as an attack from Woolsey from the right wing side to the left wing side of the court falls. Bobcats now lead 9-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As it's number 14 to serve. We don't have a 14 in our roster. As Hannah Scott's going to pick up a kill there. She tips it over the net. Saw the 4 but didn't see the 1. Hannah Scott picks up her first Bear Lake Rayleigh kill of the game. Third of the game for the Rebels. They trail 9-8 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Violet Taylor serves, getting underneath that's Debbie Jean Henry, and that's tipped over the net by the Bobcats. Rebels have possession. They go to Peterson. Peterson off the arms of the front row to the floor. Darlene Peterson picks up her second Bear Lake Realty kill. We are tied at 9 here in the first set on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Violet Taylor will serve, ball goes over the net. Bobcats set up an attack in the middle of the floor as it's Allen. Goes from the middle of the floor to the right wing, finds the hardwood. Bobcats retake the lead 10-9. As they will serve. Ball into the net. Rebels pick up the point. 10-10 on the Station on Main scoreboard here in the first set. Back and forth action to start the game. So that ball goes over the net. Spike attempt blocked by Ellie Argyle. That is her 5th block in the last 2 contests. And we're just barely 20 points into the second game. As Argyle picks the block up, gives the Rebels the lead. Hannah Scott to serve for the Rebels. That ball is going to be tipped over the net. Nicely dug out by Argyle. They go to the left wing. Peterson, she tips it over. Diving effort from the back row from number 5. That's Engelstead. No avail. Rebels now lead by 2 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Hannah Scott to serve for the Rebels. Her serve goes over the net to her knees to dig it out is Tabitha Henry. They go to the near side. That's going to be blocked out of bounds off the arms of Nia Jolly to the left wing, to left side of the court, out of bounds. As the Rebels now lead 12-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. I know that the picture on the screen says Panthers, but just know that we are playing the Panguitch Bobcats. As that serve goes into the net, Rebels retake a 2-point lead, trying to fix it as the game's going on. But I don't want to, because we are audio only, I do not want to miss any of the game, because that means you guys will miss the game because we don't have a camera on. We're not allowed to have a camera on the game because we don't have the rights. As Nia Jolly will serve, that ball goes into the net. Dueling service errors. And we're at 13-12, Rebels with a 1-point lead on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Ava Ellsworth checks into the game for Nia Jolly. Serve's going to go over the net as Ava Ellsworth picks up the town of Woodruff Dig. Casey Wilson flubs the set attempt. That's going to be slammed back over by Tabitha Henry. She's the benefactor of a little bit of a sloppy pass as that set attempt she was trying to set up. A player on the left wing side went over the net as the Bobcats serve again, tied at 13. Darlene Peterson attacks. He's going to pick up a Bear Lake Realty kill off the front line, out of bounds on the right wing side. Rebels retake the lead, 14-13 on the Station on Main scoreboard. It's Peterson to serve, and she's going to pick up a Crawford Troth ace. Attacks from the left wing side, finds the hardwood on the right wing back corner. 15-13 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels lead by 2 as we update the Station on Main scoreboard. This time the serve's going to go out of bounds. Makes the score 15-14. Rebels and Bobcats going back and forth here. Serve goes over the net, dug out by Ellsworth. They go to Violet Taylor. She's just going to bump it over. Nice effort there from Debbie Jean Henry to get to the ball. An attack from the left wing side snuffed out by the Rebels. Peterson's going to have to bump it over from the back line. She does. As here comes an attack. Blocked to the net by Ellie Argyle. Bobcats have the ball. They're going to attack this time from the left wing with Allen. Nicely dug out by Ellsworth. Wilson just going to safely bump it over as the Bobcats have the ball. They attack. They're going to go back to Tabitha Henry, and that's going to go out of bounds. Rebels pick up the point. Great defense there, as there's a couple different really key digs to keep that ball alive. As the Rebels now lead by 2, Ellie Argyle will step to the service stripe. Ball hits the top of the net, gets over, dug out by the Bobcats. They go to Tabitha Henry, dug out by Ellie Argyle. They go left wing for Violet Taylor. She tips it off the arms of a Bobcats player out of bounds. That was Bailey, who couldn't quite get to it. Give Violet Taylor her first Bear Lake Realty kill of the contest. As Argyle steps back to the service stripe, she lets it go. As it's 17-14 on the Station on Main scoreboard, make that 17-15 as an attack from the middle of the floor by the Bobcats. Falls on the Rebels side. They attack from the middle, go to the right wing, and that falls. Bobcats pick up the point. 17-15 on the Station on Main scoreboard here in the first set. As that serve is dug out by Peterson. As Ellsworth's going to have to bump it over. She does. Bobcats have possession. They're going to attack with Allen. Allen from the middle of the floor finds the hardwood on the left wing side. 17-16. Rebels still lead by 1. Serve goes over the net. Peterson digs it out. They go to Violet Taylor, left wing attack. Tries to find the back line. That's going to go a little long, out of bounds. We are tied 17-17 here in the first set. The biggest lead of the set has been 3 points. Each team has had one. And head coach Wendy Lamborn is going to call a T7 Propane timeout. With that, you listen to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebels Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. We'll be back after this.
You're invited to come in and visit with the team at Cache Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley today. Our customers are our friends. If you haven't ever been in, stop in today. We'd love to get to know you. If you haven't been in for a while, stop in and let's get caught up. And if you were here yesterday, come back again soon. You always have an open invitation to visit the crew at Cache Honda Yamaha, where our customers are our friends, on US 91 between Logan and Smithfield.
Welcome back to Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. We're in the Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rebels Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. Serve over the net. Hannah Scott attacks from the middle of the floor. We are tied 17-17 on the Station on Main scoreboard. An attack from the Bobcats off the arms of Hannah Scott down to the floor on the Rebels side. That's going to be a point for the Bobcats. They lead 18-17 now, as they're on a 4-0 run right here. As it's Tabitha Henry to serve. They go Scott middle of the floor. She tips it. Beautifully done by Hannah Scott. She tips it to the right side, the right wing sideline. Hannah Scott ties it up with a Bear Lake Realty kill, her second of the ball game. Casey Wilson will serve for the Rebels. She approaches, attacks off the arms of Griffin. They're going to have to bump it over with Allen. That finds Peterson. Rebels have the ball on the attack. Violet Taylor from the left wing. That's good. Violet Taylor hits the ball down the left wing sideline as she goes same side. She does that so well. Rebels now lead by 1 point on the Station on Main scoreboard. 2 Bear Lake Realty kills for the Rebels, and that ball's going to get played back over. Not quite over, actually, as from my angle, it looks like the Bobcats made a miraculous save as Casey Wilson's serve hit the top of the net. A couple of Bobcats got their arms to it in diving efforts. They were just unable to punch it over. Rebels lead by 2 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Wilson, she serves. Dug out in the back row by Tabitha Henry. A tip attempt is snuffed out by Violet Taylor. They go to her on the left wing side. She attacks. Nicely done there by Holland to keep it alive. Rebels are able to play it back to the middle where Hannah Scott attacks from the middle of the floor, diving in the effort in the back row by Tabitha Henry. Keeps it alive as the Bobcats attack with Allen. She's going to find the hardwood from the middle of the floor. 20-19, Rebels with the lead over the Bobcats. As the Bobcats will serve, looking for the player. It's number 14. Once again, she's not on our roster. We'll try to find out who that is. As Taylor's going to punch it over with the left hand. Dug out in the back row by Tabitha Henry. They go to the middle of the floor where the Rebels diving effort to keep it alive. The ball's going to go out of bounds after it goes over the net. Casey Wilson did all she could to keep it alive. Heck of an effort there from Wilson, but it falls. We're tied again, 20-20 here on the Station on Main scoreboard. This has been a very good set. as a serve. Off the arms of Violet Taylor. Casey Wilson can't quite get to it as she hits that ball. It's going to go over the net and hit a player on the other side playing in a different game. Now the Bobcats lead 21-20 on the Station on Main scoreboard as they will serve. Serve is underway. Violet Taylor with the Town of Woodruff dig. They go to the middle of the floor. Hannah Scott tries the left-hand tip, dug out by Woolsey. They go to the middle of the floor, punched over by Peterson. We're going to get a violation against the Rebels, as I think they're going to call it a lift. That's 22-20 for the Bobcats on the Station on Main scoreboard. As the Bobcats serve again, Violet Taylor with the dig. They go to Nia Jolly. She bumps it over, where it's played in the back row by Tabitha Henry. They go to the middle of the floor, and that's going to be out of bounds. See what they call. The referee's holding her hand in the air, and they're going to call. Referee's going to call a double hit against the Bobcats. That's a big turn of events there, as it looked like the Rebels may have tipped it. But they call 2 hits against the Bobcats. Now the Rebels trail 22-21 on the Station on Main scoreboard, as the referee is waiting for them to update the scoreboard. Rebels will serve with Violet Taylor. Bobcats dig it out. They attack on the left wing side with Oakley Woolsey. That's going to go out of bounds down the left wing side. It's going to tie us up at 22-22. Violet Taylor to serve for the Rebels. She serves it down the left sideline. Dug out by the Bobcats. They go middle of the floor. Blocked to the floor by Darlene Peterson. That is another epic recreation block for the Rebels front line. And don't look now, Rebels with a 1-point lead. Head coach of the Bobcats, Troy Norris, has had enough. With that, you're listening to the Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. We'll be right back after this.
You're invited to come in and visit with the team at Cache Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley today. Our customers are our friends. If you haven't ever been in, stop in today. We'd love to get to know you. If you haven't been in for a while, stop in and let's get caught up. And if you were here yesterday, come back again soon. You always have an open invitation to visit the crew at Cache Honda Yamaha, where our customers are our friends, on US 91 between Logan and Smithfield.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth with another Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebels Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. As I'm just going to get rid of the logos on this main screen because I don't think that looks very good. As we have a little bit of a break in the action because of spilled water on the floor. That's a good catch here by the near sideline official. Got the last name Allen, 24, so I'm assuming if I had to bet money, he is related to Alexis Allen, the senior from Panguitch, as he found a spill, and we are not going to continue play until that spill is cleaned up, and I completely agree with that because that can be very dangerous. And the last thing we really want is for a player to try to save a ball, step on the water, slip, fall, and tear their ACL. That's not something we want because this has been a very good volleyball game as both of these teams, 23-22 on the Station on Main scoreboard, both these teams playing pretty well. As we'll give you some stats while we fill time. Darlene Peterson has 3 Bear Lake Realty kills, 1 epic recreation block, and a Crawford Troth ace. Ellie Argyle's got 1 Bear Lake Realty kill, 1 epic recreation block, and a 1 Crawford Troth ace. So that's pretty consistent right there across the board from Argyle. It's kind of what she does. As Violet Taylor, she has 2 Bear Lake Realty kills, same with Hannah Scott. They kind of spread the wealth around this Rich Rebel team. They do it very well. There are no one players that are going to just hurt. They have more than one player that can hurt you on the attack. I almost said the exact opposite of what I meant. But they can attack you from everywhere as Violet Taylor will step back to the service stripe. Looks like we're ready to go. She has the privilege to get us back underway as she lets a serve go to the back row, dug out by the Bobcats. They're going to go near side with Woolsey on the attack. Off the arms of a diving Violet Taylor, out of bounds. Give Woolsey another kill. As now we are tied 23-23. Why not? This has been a hotly contested first set, as this has been a very good game as we wait for the ball to come back. That ball was hit with so much force. Once again, we have another spike off the arms of a player to the first floor all the way on the left-hand side. as we await the server. It looks like that's going to be Engelstad to serve. She lets it go. Darlene Peterson digs it out. They go back to Peterson. Her left wing attack. She tips it off the net. Diving effort from Woolsey to keep it alive. Bobcats are just going to push it over where Argyle digs it out. Wilson with a dump set. Nicely dug out there by Tabitha Henry. They go to the middle of the floor, off the arms of Argyle, into the air. Wilson's underneath it as Peterson's going to push it to the back row. What a find there from Darlene Peterson. She picks up her 4th Bear Lake Realty kill. She finds the back quarter, gives the Rebels a 1-point lead, and that is an early candidate for our Dr. McKay precision play of the game, as that was a huge play as Hannah Scott to serve. Dug out by the Bobcats. They go middle of the floor attack. Hannah Scott gets underneath it to keep it alive. They go Argyle, middle of the floor. She tips it over. That ball's diving effort. 3 hits, and the Rebels are going to win the set as the Bobcats are going to be called for 4 hits. The Rebels come back as they were down by 3 at the 20-point mark, down 20-17. They come back, win this set 25-13. What a set that is. If the other 3 sets are anything like this, guys, this is going to be a heck of a volleyball game, so stay with us. You listen to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rebel Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. Station on main scoreboard reads the Rebels 25, the Bobcats 23. We'll be right back with more action after this here on mylocalradio.com and 98.3 FM and on.
Amazing people work at the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier. From the receptionists to the doctors, the x-ray techs to the food service staff, from the phlebotomist to housekeeping and everyone in between. The care you receive can't be matched anywhere else. We really care about your health. We care about you. We work hard to have top quality equipment and facilities and provide a wide range of services so we can serve every patient. When selecting your healthcare providers, choose Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. You'll feel the difference.
At Rich School District, we believe that success motivates individuals, and every student is capable of learning. We believe an effective classroom facilitates learning. We believe in the development of lifelong learners, and we believe that a quality education makes a difference. Student involvement equals student success. Currently, 93% of Rich High students participate in extracurricular activities. Rich School District, providing a quality, well-rounded education for each student.
Welcome back to Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. Listen to Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rebel Volleyball on 98.3 and online at mylocalradio.com. As you can see on the station on main scoreboard, the Rebels win that first set 25-23. We're about to go to the LSR refrigerated second set, as we got about 1:18 left to go in the intermission between sets. As that was a heck of a back and forth match. Rebels down 20-17 at one point in the set. Come back, win it 25-13. A couple mistakes they made in that first set, but they were able to overcome. But against a really good Panguitch team, you can't shoot yourself in the foot as much as you could earlier in the day. But the Rebels come back and win the set, and that's all that matters. As you listen to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rebels Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. We're broadcasting from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth as we reset the score, and we head to the LSR refrigerated second set. Bobcats will serve first. As it's going to be Engelstad to serve for the Bobcats. Violet Taylor with the town of Woodruff dig. Rebels on the attack. They go to Taylor, left wing side, tip with the left hand, diving up from Debbie Jean Henry to keep it alive. Woolsey will attack, blocked by Nia Jolly. That's an epic recreation block. Rebels have the ball. Wilson to Hannah Scott, middle of the floor attack, two-hand sets it over. Dug out by Henry. As they go to the far side, diving up from Peterson to keep it alive. Can't quite get there. But give Hannah Scott her first epic recreation block of the game. And the Bobcats lead this set 1-0. As Engelstad will serve again. She lets it go, dug out by Peterson. Wilson sets up Taylor. Taylor's going to bump it over. As they're going to call into the net against the Bobcats. That is a huge mistake for the Bobcats, as the Rebels were just going to bump it high over the net and try to play defense. Violet Taylor will serve for the Rebels now. Her serve over the net, dug out in the back row by Tabitha Henry. They go near side to Woolsey. She attacks off the arms of Ellie Argyle, and that's going to go over the net out of bounds. That's a kill for Woolsey. It may be a little bit bigger of a gym. Darlene Peterson would have had plenty of time to get underneath it as she got to the net very quickly. 2-1, the Bobcats lead on the Station on Main scoreboard here in the LSR Refrigerated second set. Ball's played over the net, dug out by Violet Taylor. Peterson, her left wing attack, ticks it over, dug out there by Engelstead. The Bobcats are going to try to attack from the right wing side. That's going to go out of bounds past the left wing sideline. Rebels pick up the point, 2-2. We've got deuces wild here in the second set. We're in set 2, brought to you by LSR Refrigerated. 2-2 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Hannah Scott, she's going to bury a Crawford Troth ace in the back corner. Give Hannah Scott her first ace of the contest. That's 3 service aces for the Rebels already in this match, as Hannah Scott will step back to the line, leading 3-2 on the Station on Main scoreboard. She unleashes again. This time Tabitha Henry digs it out. They go near side as Fransden tries a attack. They're going to go Peterson on the left wing. Darlene Peterson, a fadeaway, Kobe Bryant style, finds the hardwood on the left wing side. Darlene Peterson had to reach back for it. She gets to that ball. That's a 5th Bear Lake Realty kill of the game for Peterson. 4-2 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Hannah Scott serves again, this time down the right wing sideline. As they're going to punch it over. That's going to go out of bounds. As Tabitha Henry tried to punch it with a closed fist, that ball bounces off her fist, goes out of bounds. Rebels with a 5-2 lead. Hannah Scott serves again. This time, Henry digs it out. Tabitha Henry, that is. They go right sideline for an attack. That's going to go out of bounds. Violet Taylor, once again, a little dodgeball there. I'm sure her gym class teacher would be proud getting out of the way of that ball. 6-2 Rebels on the Station on Main scoreboard. Hannah Scott steps back to the line to serve. She lets one go. That's going to go out of bounds long. That ends a 4-0 run for the Rebels. As it will be the libero, Debbie Jean Henry, to serve. That's going to go out of bounds. Dueling service errors give the ball right back to the Rebels, as it'll be Nia Jolly to step to the stripe. Checking into the ball game for the Rebels, number 21, Janie Walentine. She replaces Hannah Scott. As Jolly, she'll serve. Debbie Jean Henry gets the dig. They're going to have to bump it over with Woolsey as Argyle digs it out. Peterson, left wing sideline. As that pass was into the net, they're going to call into the net against the Rebels. That'll be a point for the Bobcats, as the set attempt there from Wilson went over the net to the Bobcats. Checking into the ball game for the Rebels, number 7, Ava Ellsworth. Stepping to the stripe for the Bobcats, Jocelyn Griffin. Off the arms of Taylor to Ellsworth. Wilson's going to bump it over. Bobcats on the attack. They go near side. That's Tabitha Henry. Diving effort there from Violet Taylor to keep it alive. Peterson, she'll tip it over the net. Diving effort in the back row by the Bobcats. Keeps it alive. They punch it over. Violet Taylor digs. Rebels on the offense again. Peterson, this time, she unloads on that ball. The crushing Russian strikes again. That is 6 kills in the ball game. That one is for you, Elin. 8-4. Rebels over the Bobcats, as number 8 will step to the free throw. Not the free throw stripe, the service stripe. She unloads down the left wing sideline as Tabitha Henry's going to attack. Violet Taylor's that's Darlene Peterson, digs it out, and a bump attempt from Woolsey hits Jocelyn Griffin in the face, and head coach Troy Norris has seen enough. Rebels now lead 9-4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. With that, we're going to go to a quick break. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebels Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
A healthy smile improves life in many ways. Fresher breath, increased confidence, and better overall health. Dr. Sean Grohl and his team at Comprehensive Family Dental have been supporting Rich Rebels for over 25 years. Call today and schedule your next appointment. Go Rebels!
Supporting the Rich Rebels in everything they do. J-Bar Auto and J-Bar Excavation in Randolph provide services to Rich Rebel fans every day. Auto repair, tires, sand, and gravel. J-Bar Auto and J-Bar Excavation on Main Street in Randolph. Stop in today.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. You're in the middle of Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebels Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. Station on Main scoreboard reads 9 serving 4 as the Rebels serve. An attack from Tabitha Henry, diving effort from Walentine to keep it alive. Violet Taylor will attack on the left wing. Nicely dug out in the back row by the Bobcats. They go with the right wing set over the net. Easily dug out there by Wallenstein. Violet Taylor from the left wing. Shield exploded down the sideline. Violet Taylor picks up the kill. Darlene Peterson about takes her head off with a celebration. But Taylor killed that ball. That is the hardest ball I think I've seen Violet Taylor ever hit. It may not show on her face, but she is fired up as the Rebels now lead 10-4 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As Engelstad's going to pick up a kill there as she crushes the ball from the right wing off the arms of Ellsworth. Not much she could do there. 10-5 on the Station on Main scoreboard as that ball hit Ellsworth's arms and went out of bounds on the left wing sideline. Bobcats to serve. It's number 12, Tabitha Henry, dug out by Ellsworth. They go to Argyle. She'll attack from the right wing. Nicely dug by Engelstad in the front row. An attack from the Bobcats is going to be off the arms of Ellsworth, as it looked like Peterson may have had a chance at that, but Ava Ellsworth doing everything she can to keep that ball alive. 10-6, Rebels with the lead on the Station on Main scoreboard here in the LSR refrigerated second set. Dug out by Peterson. They go to Taylor on the left wing sideline. That's going to be another kill for Violet Taylor. Violet Taylor with her fourth Bear Lake Realty kill as she attacks from the left wing to the middle of the floor. 11-6 on the Station on Main scoreboard here in the LSR refrigerated second set. Checking back into the ballgame is Hannah Scott for Janie Wallenstein. As Argyle serve, dug out by the Bobcats. They're on the attack. That's going to be inbounds as Peterson tried to get out of the way of it, as Alexis Allen unloaded on that ball from the left wing to the back right corner. And there's 11-7 Rebels on the Station on Main scoreboard. They lead by 4 here in the LSR refrigerated second set. It's number 14 to serve again. That ball's going to fall on the back line for an ace as we try to find out who 14 is. They don't have names on the back of their jerseys. Or at least if they do, they're not readable from up here. As I would guess, I'm going to have to try to find out before the next tournament, as Ellie Argyle's just going to bump that over safely. We're trying to figure out who that player is. As she had an ace there as that ball is blocked to the front of the net. Looks like Violet Taylor and Hannah Scott got to that one. And that is going to be 4 hits called against the Bobcats as they cannot return the block. Give Violet Taylor and Hannah Scott a block. I don't know if that's how that works, but it looks like both of them got their arms to it. Both get an Epic Recreation block, and Nia Jolly checks back into the game. As the serve goes over the net, Woolsey attacks. It's going to hit the fingertips of Hannah Scott and die right in front of Darlene Peterson, who is positioned in the right wing, on the right wing, attacking from the Bobcat side. They attack left to right there. They get a kill. 12-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels with the lead. Engelstad steps to the line. Dug out by Peterson. They go Violet Taylor. She's going to have to back up. Two-hand flips it over the net as the Bobcats are going to attack from the 10-foot line. Dug out by Peterson. Scott from the middle of the floor tips it. Tries to find that back corner. Nicely read there by Tabitha Henry as a little fadeaway action from the Bobcats is snuffed out by the Rebels. As a tip attempt at the front of the net by the Bobcats lands on their side. As it looked like that was Maddie Fransden, who didn't quite get enough of that ball to get it over the net. Ball falls in on the Bobcat side. Rebels get the point, 13-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Violet Taylor will serve. Dug out nicely by Woolsey. They go back to Woolsey. She'll attack from the 10-foot line. Blocked by Hannah Scott to the floor. Hannah Scott gets another Epic Recreation block, her third of the ball game. As she's throwing her own little block party at the front of the net. 14-9, Rebels lead on the Station on Main scoreboard. Violet Taylor will serve over the net. Dug by the Panthers as Peterson got her arms to a spike attempt from Alexis Allen, but could not keep it in the air long enough for a teammate to get under it. That cuts the lead down to 14-10 here in the LSR refrigerated second set for the Rebels. Step into the service stripe for the Bobcats, number 2, Katie Harlan, and she's going to pick up an ace as that ball falls in the middle of the back row, just in front of the line. I think Harlan thought that ball was out of bounds by her reaction. Usually when a player gets an ace, they're a little more excited than the way she looked over at the bench, and she'll serve again. This time Peterson digs it out. As they go back to Peterson, she attacks on the left wing, off the arms of the front row and down to the ground. Darlene Peterson picks up her 7th Bear Lake Realty kill. The Rebels lead 15-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Hannah Scott steps to the stripe. She lets a serve go off the arms of Debbie Jean Henry, and they're going to have to tip it over, except they can't do that as Fransden tried a little bit of a reverse tip That hits the net, falls to the floor. An error on the Bobcats gives the Rebels a 16-11 lead as Scott serves again. Here comes the attack from the Bobcats. It's Fransden from the right wing side off the arms of Wilson. Trying to keep it alive was Peterson. It's going to bounce off the net into her arm. That's 2 hits against the Rebels. That was a heck of an effort there from Darlene Peterson to try to keep that ball alive as it bounced off Wilson's arm like a rocket right at Peterson as Debbie Jean Henry serves. Dug out in the back row by Taylor. Peterson will attack on the left wing off the arms of Debbie Jean Henry in the back row. They go to Tabitha Henry in the front. Diving effort from Violet Taylor keeps it alive. Another diving effort, and the Rebels are unable to get to it after great efforts there from Hannah Scott and Violet Taylor. The ball falls to the floor. Rebels now lead 16-13 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Debbie Jean Henry steps back to the service stripe. That ball goes over the net. Hannah Scott digs it out. Peterson will attack from the left wing. Has to adjust midair, but gets the ball over the net. Dug out by the Bobcats. They're going to attack. Violet Taylor keeps it alive with a diving effort as that ball is off the arms off an errant pass as Peterson can't get it over the net. Rebels now lead by 2 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Debbie Jean Henry steps back to the service line. Violet Taylor with the Town of Woodruff dig. They go to Peterson on the left wing. She tips it over the net, nicely read by the Bobcats defense. As they're going to attack, that's going to be in the back row. That's a nice attack there from Janessa Heaton. Make that Tabitha Henry. Nope. Once again, that's Lexi Palmer instead, as the Rebels now lead by 1 on the Station on Main scoreboard. The ball goes into the bleachers, and the flag judge is going to have to go get it. May not be the worst thing in the world, as it slows the game down a little bit as the Bobcats are on a 4-0 run with Debbie Jean Henry at the line. Her serve dug out by Taylor. They go to Peterson. Peterson tries to tip it over the net. That goes into the net. We are tied 16-16 here in the second set. As a 5-0 run for the Bobcats has this game tied. As Henry will serve again. Violet Taylor digs it out. They set up Peterson. She's going to attack, and Peterson's attack off the arms of a front row player, off the arms of a diving Debbie Jean Henry into the net. And we have a player stepping where that puddle was. That's Tabitha Henry. Hopefully she's all right. That ball falls to the floor. Rebels retake the lead, 17-16 in the LSR Refrigerated second set. The entire Wallentine family wishes the Rebels good luck. Speaking of the Wallentine family, Janie Wallentine checks back into the game for Hannah Scott as Nia Jolly approaches the service stripe. Into the back. They're going to call that out of bounds, actually. It looked like it was in the back corner. My view is obstructed, so got a little excited because I thought that was going to be a Crawford Troth ace for Nia Jolly, but it just misses outside the line by a few inches. Checking back into the ballgame for the Rebels, number 7. That is Ava Ellsworth for Nia Jolly. 17-17 on the Station on Main scoreboard as the Bobcats serve to the Rebels. They get the ball. Argyle's going to attack to the back row. Debbie Jean Henry falling backwards, keeps that ball alive. That's a good save there as Argyle will get the dig on the Rebels side. Peterson will attack on the left wing. Off the net, out of bounds, and the Bobcats now lead by 1. This has been a very, very closely contested contest. The biggest lead of the game so far has been 5 points for the Rebels, as that was erased by the Bobcats. The serve is dug out by Ellsworth. They go to Argyle in the middle of the floor, off the front line, underneath the net. Ellie Argyle picks up her second Bear Lake Realty kill of the ball game. We are tied 18-18 with Darlene Peterson stepping to the service line. She approaches on the left wing. Nice effort there from Harlan to keep it alive. She's going to have to bump it over. That's going to go out of bounds as Harlan and Tabitha Henry run into each other. And as Harlan was hitting it, she jerked forward after she ran into Henry. That caused the bump over the net to go out of bounds. The Rebels pick up the point. Peterson finds the arms of Tabitha Henry. She's going to attack from the left wing into the net. Rebels lead by 2 on the Station on Main scoreboard, 20-18 here in the LSR Refrigerated second set. And with that, we're going to get a timeout called by head coach of the Bobcats, Troy Norris. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rebel Volleyball on 98.3 and online at mylocalradio.com. We're going to go to the Gare Bear Phantom Cam, as of course we don't have the video rights for this game, so the Fan Cam is brought to you by Bear Lake Realty and broker Gary McKee in Garden City, your home and real estate investment experts. Beachfront property, a mountain retreat, year-round living, or investment properties. Whatever you're looking for, the real estate experts at Bear Lake Realty can help you find it. Visit bearlakerealty.com today. And that was not a very long conversation with the head coach of the Rebels, Wendy Lamborn. She wants her girls back out there. And if you're the Bobcats, they They return to the floor with 20 seconds left. I think you'd want to waste a little more time, try to slow the momentum as we go back to the live cam. Darlene Peterson serves, dug out by Debbie Jean Henry. They tip it over. Ellie Argyle with the Town of Woodruff dig, and Argyle's going to bump it over. They're actually going to call a violation against the Rebels, and that'll make the score 20-19 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As the timeout works for head coach Troy Norris, Bobcats are back on the serve. They let it go, dug out by Ellsworth. Wilson sets up Taylor on the left wing side. Her attempt off the arms of a Bobcat. They're going to just tip it over. Rebels back on the attack. They set up Argyle, front of the net, middle of the floor, off the arms of Henry into the air. Bobcats on the attack now. They're going to hit it off Wallentyne. That's going to go over the net. Once again, in a little bit bigger of a gym, looked like Violet Taylor had enough time to get under that ball, but unfortunately there's a net because we are playing in a facility with four floors to play volleyball. There's 3 other games going on. Unfortunately, that ball just goes over. As we're going to get a serve from the Bobcats off the net. Taylor with the dig. They go to Argyle, right wing attack. They're going to call a lift against Wilson. As the Bobcats now lead 21. As the Bobcats now lead 21-20 as I clicked the wrong button. But we're back to the regular score, or the correct score, as the Bobcats serve. Violet Taylor, Town of Woodruff dig. They go back to her. She's going to attack from the left wing. Off the arms of the front row, out of bounds. 21-21 tie here in the LSR refrigerated second set. I mean, why not? As Hannah Scott checks back into the game for the Rebels, Ellie Argyle will step to the service line. She approaches. Nicely dug out, as that was the 5th kill of the game, brought to you by Bear Lake Realty for Violet Taylor. Hannah Scott tries her attempt. Nicely dug out by the Bobcats. They go near side, number 14. Still trying to figure out that number, but here come the Rebels. Violet Taylor, left wing attack, off the front row, diving effort to keep it alive from Tabitha Henry. They go near side, 14 again, off the top of the net, over to the Rebels side. They have the ball. Hannah Scott will attack from the middle of the floor. She tries to push it to the back line. Nicely dug out by Tabitha Henry. They go 24 in the middle. That's Alexis Allen. Nicely dug out by Peterson. As that attempt from Violet Taylor is going to be off the net, off an arm, to the floor. Rebels now lead by 2, 23-21. I take that back, 22-21. As the scoreboard operator on the floor is a lot quicker to the draw than me, as Argyle will go back to the floor. Violet Taylor with her 6th Bear Lake Realty kill. They go left wing attack. They try to find the far side. They find Ellsworth. The block at the front of the net is Violet Taylor attack from the left wing side. Casey Wilson gets into a battle at the front of the net. Rebels are going to have to bump it over. As the Bobcats, they're on the attack now. They go Allen, middle of the floor, blocked by Hannah Scott. Hannah Scott with her 4th Epic Recreation block of the night. She is dominating the front of the net, 23-21. Rebels with a 2-point lead on the Station on Main scoreboard. Ellie Argyle will serve for the Rebels. Dug out by Tabitha Henry. They go near side Allen. Allen's attempt into the net. Rebels with a 4-point lead. They have set point in the LSR refrigerated second set. 24-21 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As the Bobcats look to the sideline, head coach Troy Norris is imploring them to calm down as that serves off the arms of Debbie Jean Henry, and that's going to be errant, out of bounds. Rebels win the second set, 25-21. They take a 2-0 lead over the number 2 Panguitch Bobcats here in the Battle of 1 and 2. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rebels Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. We'll be back with the Rich County Government third set after this.
When you drive on the best tires that are rotated, balanced, and inflated properly, you can save money 2 ways. The best tires can reduce wear and tear on your vehicle. That saves you money in the long run. The best tires can also improve your overall miles per gallon. That helps you save every time to fill up at the pump. At Freeway Tire in Evanston, we offer the best tires with the best service for every vehicle. Make sure you're running on the best tires you can. Visit Freeway Tire today, 217 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
This presentation on mylocalradio.com is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. With over 3 decades of experience, Dr. Todd Hoover can help you with all the chiropractic work you need, plus x-rays, blood work, a weight loss program, and can help you get rid of allergies and migraines. Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic in Evanston.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth within the Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. As we are about to start the Rich County Government third set, if you check out the scoreboard that's still up right now from set 2, the Rebels win 25-21. They now lead 2-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. As we reset the score and move to the Rich County Government third set. We got about 1:10 left to go before the intermission in between the sets. And of note, both Janie Wallentyne and Ava Ellsworth both ran to the back. Hopefully everything's all right, but we still got like 55 seconds left to go before the Rebels have to report to the floor. And I think they're going to use as much time as possible. The Bobcats are already back on the floor, but the Rebels have only 8 players here because their JV team, they went to ICS, so they're waiting. They're going to wait out as long as they can to see if we can get the players back. But those 2 players are Ellsworth and Wallentyne, who will rotate in typically when Hannah Scott and Nia Jolly get to the back row after they serve. We got 23 seconds to go. Once again, I want to remind you, this is a battle between the number 1 and number 2 teams in 1A Utah volleyball between the Rich Rebels and the Panguitch Bobcats. As, of course, the Rebels are ranked number 1. Bobcats ranked number 2 in the state. As this has been a very fun matchup. As it'll be the Rebels to serve. Violet Taylor. Here comes Ava Ellsworth back as she looks up at the clock. Didn't miss any action. As everything appears to be all right as Violet Taylor serves over the net, dug out by Debbie Jean Henry. They go to the middle. That's blocked. In on the sideline. Nice block there. Guess who? Hannah Scott with their 5th epic recreation block of the ball game gives the Rebels a 1-0 lead here in the Rich County Government third set. Violet Taylor will serve as that ball landed from the middle of the floor on the left wing sideline. Here comes the attack from the Bobcats. That's going to go out of bounds off the fingertips of Nia Jolly, though. That's going to tie us up at 1-1 as Nia Jolly just a couple inches away from getting to that ball. As her deflection is probably what caused it to go out of bounds, or else that ball looked like it was labeled for the back left corner. On the kill attempt, that was number 13. That was Woolsey. As it's Engelstad to serve, Darlene Peterson digs it out. Here comes Janie Wallentyne. She's back. Peterson attacks from the left wing side. That's good! Darlene Peterson down the left wing sideline picks up her 8th Bear Lake Realty kill of the game to match her number. Rebels go up 2-1 as Hannah Scott steps to the service line. She lets the serve go. That's dug out by Tabitha Henry. And Darlene Peterson reaches over, punches that ball to the floor after a mistake on a pass. Give her 9 Bear Lake Realty kills as that serve off of Henry's arms went a little too far, went over the net where only Darlene Peterson could get to it. She made no mistake, plastering that ball straight down to the floor, in the middle of the floor as Scott serves. That's going to be punched into the net by Woolsey. Don't look now, but the Rebels lead 4-1 on the Station on Main scoreboard here in the Rich County Government third set. As Scott will serve again. Tabitha Henry gets the dig. Bobcats are going to attack with Woolsey from the 10-foot line. Rebels have the ball. Peterson, she attacks. She finds the hardwood from the left wing on the right wing side. Don't look now. Darlene Peterson in to double digits with that kill. 10 kills for Darlene Peterson as the whole defense shifted to the right. She went back to the left. The defense is left as that ball is popped into the air, and that's going to fall to the floor on the side of the Rebels. 6-1 Rebels on the Station on Main scoreboard. Head coach Troy Norris has had enough. And for now, you're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebels Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. Station on Main scoreboard reads 6-1 Rebels with the lead over the Bobcats here in the Rich County Government third set. We'll be back after this.
Every person added together makes a community great. Rich County, Utah is filled with individuals that are kind, hardworking, and filled with integrity. We're proud of our children and understand that they have the capacity to make the world a better place. Showing support for every student at Rich High School fosters a healthy community. The Rich County Commissioners, clerk, and citizens of our community say good luck to the Rich Rebels today and every day. Go Rebels!
Welcome back to Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth as Hannah Scott lets the serve go. You're in the middle of a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rebels Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. Argyle tips it over the net. Bobcats are going to punch it over Casey Wilson, the town of Woodruff dig, as the Rebels are going to have to safely bump it with Argyle. She finds the back row and Tabitha Henry. An attack from Allen in the middle of the floor. That's going to fall, and that breaks a 5-0 run for the Rebels. The Rebels now lead 6-2 on the Station on Main scoreboard here in the Rich County Government third set. Checking back into the game for the Bobcats, number 2, Katie Harland. As she'll serve from the middle of the floor. She has an ace already today. Let's it go. That's going to go. That's going to be in. It looked out of bounds from my vantage point, but it had to have been in because I believe that's Ellie Argyle's dad who's the flag judge down there. That's an incredibly honest man right there. As he gets a little smile. I think Ellie gave him a side eye there. As they go to Argyle, middle of the floor, her attack finds Debbie Jean Henry in the back row, left side. They go to Woolsey as that's dug out by Wilson. Peterson's going to attack from the left wing. That's nicely dug out by Debbie Jean Henry. Blocked to the front of the net by Argyle. Another attempt. That's going to be off the net. 4 hits. Ellie Argyle causing havoc at the front of the net with looks like a little bit of a running mate between Argyle and Scott. Between the two, we got 6 blocks in the game. The Rebels have between the two, they have 7. In the game, we have 10. We have 10 blocks by my count for the Rebels as the serve goes over the net. Another block by Darlene Peterson as that ball gets played back over for the Rebels. Rebels punch it back over. That's Darlene Peterson's second Epic Recreation block as the Bobcats attack. Rebels dig it out. Peterson's going to attack from the left wing. It's good! Darlene Peterson with her 11th Bear Lake Realty kill the ball game. Rebels lead 8-3 on the Station on Main scoreboard here in the Rich County Government third set. As Nia Jolly steps to the line. She approaches, tries down the right wing side. Nicely dug out by Tabitha Henry. They're going to go back to her. Diving effort from Violet Taylor to keep it alive, but that's going to bounce off her arms out of bounds on the left wing sideline of the Bobcats. Nice effort from Taylor, but just can't keep it alive. Checking back into the ball game for the Rebels. Number 7, Ava Ellsworth. She will replace Nia Jolly as that serve is dug out by Peterson. They go to Argyle, middle of the floor. She attacks off the arms in the front row of Palmer as Tabitha Henry's going to punch it over. Rebels on the attack. They go to Peterson, left wing. She tips it over. Nicely dug out there by Engelstedt. She snuffed that out. That ball's going to be blocked again by Ellie Argyle at the front of the net. That falls. That is her 3rd Epic Recreation block of the game. And let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 Epic Recreation blocks for the Rebels as Darlene Peterson serves that ball into the net. Bobcats regain possession of the serve. And it looks like it'll be number 8, Jocelyn Griffin, to serve for the Bobcats. She approaches from the right wing side. Nicely dug out by Violet Taylor. She's going to get an attack. She tips it over the net. Nicely read there by Tabitha Henry. That ball rolls on the net as it was punched over by the Bobcats as it's set up for Argyle from the middle of the floor. She punches it to the middle of the floor. Ellie Argyle from the middle hits the middle. 10-5. Rebels have doubled up the Bobcats as Argyle picks up her 3rd Bear Lake Realty kill to go along with her 3 Epic Recreation blocks as she serves. Argyle, that is, nicely dug out by the Bobcats. They attack from the middle of the floor. Peterson digs it out. The Rebels set up Violet Taylor, and that's going to fall to the floor from the left wing. Violet Taylor has 7 Bear Lake Realty kills as well, as we are going to get another T7 propane timeout called by the Bobcats sideline. With that, you're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. And these stats right here are so ridiculous. I think it deserves to skip a commercial break. Don't tell my bosses, but the Rebels right now, Peterson, her number, she has 11 kills. She has 2 blocks as well. And then she also has an ace. Well, Ellie Argyle's got 3 kills, 3 blocks, and an ace. Violet Taylor, she has a block of her own as well to go with her 7 Bear Lake Realty kills. Those blocks are also brought to you by Epic Recreation. And those aces are brought to you by the Crawford Trough. As Hannah Scott has some pretty good numbers as well, too. 2 kills, 5, count them, 5 blocks. We said 3's a party. And if you get to 5, that's a bash. Hannah Scott's throwing her own block bash at the front of the net. And she also has a couple aces to go with those kills. Excuse me, she has one ace as Ellie Argyle gets us back underway. Dug out by the Bobcats. An attack from Tabitha Henry goes into the net. Rebels lead 12-5 on the Station on Main scoreboard here in the Rich County Government third set as Ellie Argyle steps back to the line to serve. That's going to go over the net. Diving effort from Henry to keep it alive. That's Tabitha Henry. She'll attack from the 10-foot line. Back-to-back attacks from Henry into the net as her teammates are clapping for her, trying to let her know it's okay. Rebels lead by 8 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Ellie Argyle back to the line. She lets it go, and that's going to be in for a Crawford Troth ace. Ellie Argyle has 2 aces on the night. 14-5 on the Station on Main scoreboard here in the Rich County Government third set. As Argyle approaches her serve, dug out by Tabitha Henry. They go to the middle of the net. That's a nicely placed attack there from Lexi Palmer as she attacked from the middle of the floor to the right wing. That ball landed about 1.5 feet away from the net as she read that play perfectly. That was a wonderful, wonderful attack there from Palmer. That's a senior move from the senior of the Bobcats. 14-6. The Rebels lead on the Station on Main scoreboard as they go to Scott. Middle of the floor attack off the arms of the front row. Dug out in the back row by Griffin. They go to the near side attack from number 14. We're still trying to find out who number 14 is. I think, if I had to guess, it's Janessa Heaton, but we don't want to miss a tribute as the Bobcats get the point as number 14 gets the kill for the Bobcats. As it's Tabitha Henry to step to the line, dug out by Argyle. Violet Taylor will attack from the left wing, and she finds the hardwood down the left wing sideline. 15-7, the Rebels lead over the Bobcats. Give Violet Taylor 8 Bear Lake Realty kills. As Nia Jolly checks back into the game for the Rebels for Hannah Scott. Wilson will serve as they go to Allen. Blocked to the front of the net. Nia Jolly joins the block party. Give them 12 kills as a team. It is getting insane at the front of the net. Casey Wilson, she'll let the serve go. 16-7 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Here comes an attack from Allen. That's going to be into the net. 17-7, Rebels with the lead on the Station on Main scoreboard here in the Rich County Government third set. They lead this game 2-0. Casey Wilson approaches the line, and she lets a serve go. That's dug out by the back line of the Bobcats. An attack, once again, number 14. It'd be really cool if we knew her name because she's been pretty good for the Bobcats. She's going to step to the line. As we're still trying to find out. Once again, we're not by the scorer's table, so I can't just walk down. We'll have to try to figure out who that is as she approaches the line, and we're going to get a violation. And we're going to get a point. It looks like the server stepped on the line. Once again, that was called by, it looks like someone who's related to Alexis Allen because you got Allen 24 on the back of his jersey. Couple real honest flag judges here. As that's a call I don't see very often as the Rebels get the ball back underway as it's a serve from Violet Taylor. Bobcats attack, dug out by the Rebels defense. Peterson from the left wing to no avail. And I think we got a whistle. We got 2 hits called, I think against the Rebels. As none of the players really heard the whistle. They continued that rally for a couple extra hits. The ball went over the net. But the Rebels are penalized with the point, 18-9 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Peterson receives the serve from the Bobcats. They go back to Peterson on the left wing side. Blocked! Out of bounds. That's another epic recreation kill for Peterson as that ball hit the front line, went right back to the Rebels side, about 3 feet out of bounds on the left wing as Hannah Scott serves for the Rebels. They go to Allen in the middle of the floor. That nearly eats Scott up. That's pretty cool from Nia Jolly that she was able to hit it like that twice, but unfortunately that's completely against the rules of volleyball. 19-10 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Nia Jolly went to bump it. I think it hit one of her arms and hit the other, went over the net. Bobcats with the point. Harland with the serve. Rebels dig it out. They go Peterson left wing side. That's going to hit the antenna out of bounds. As Peterson did all she could to try to keep that in, but she serves it off, spikes it off the antenna. Bobcats pick up the point, 19-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Serve goes over the net. Hannah Scott digs it out. Nicely done from Casey Wilson to get it out from underneath the net. Peterson punches it over. An attack from the Bobcats, snuffed out by the Rebels defense. A tip play at the net. The Bobcats dug out by Peterson. They're going to go back to Peterson. She tries a tip play of her own. That falls for a Bear Lake Realty kill. That is her 13th of the ball game. And I think her and head coach Wendy Lamborn had a conversation earlier in the game about not tipping when it was closer. 20-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Peterson gets a tip kill, and all you can do as a coach is no, 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 yes, as Wendy Lamborn laughs it off. As that's a nice attack there from Mallory Henry as she finds the hardwood as she attacks from the middle of the floor. She sent that ball almost perpendicular to the net. That ball just rolls off the net to the floor where there is no Rebels on defense. 20-12 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Bobcats will serve with Debbie Jean Henry. She lets it go. Peterson of the Town of Woodruff dig. Wilson sets Peterson up. Tries it with the left hand. She finds the hardwood. Back-to-back tip kills, this time with the left hand for Darlene Peterson. We talked about earlier in the day, she's ambidextrous. Give her 14 Bear Lake Realty kills as the Rebels lead 21-12 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Peterson approaches the line, and that serve hit the side of her hand. Goes into the net as Peterson didn't quite get all of that one. 21-13. Apparently Darlene Peterson is human, as I guess she can make a mistake or two. But she's been rock solid for the Rebels today. Their whole entire team has been rock solid in this game. As that serve goes over the net from Griffin. They're going to set up Argyle. Argyle attacks Griffin with a dig. Bobcats on the attack. That's going to fall as they miscommunicate in the middle of the floor in front of the net. It looks like that was Tabitha Henry and Mallory Henry who had the miscommunication there. Ball falls on the Bobcat side. 22-13 Rebels with the lead. Ellie Argyle at the service line. It's dug out by the Bobcats. They attack from the middle of the floor, and that ball had some mustard behind it from Lexi Palmer. As she attacks from the middle of the floor, finds the back left corner. 22-14. That looked like some frustration being taken out on a volleyball there. As after the kill, Palmer's replaced by the player that's serving. We're trying to find her as it's Tabitha Henry. She serves, dug out by Taylor. Taylor's attacked on the left wing side. She tips it over, nicely read by Debbie Jean Henry. An attack from number 14 into the net. Once again, we'll try to find who that is. But we're getting a little close to the end now as the Rebels are 2 points away from a very impressive victory. Still work to be done as Casey Wilson steps to the service line. She lets a serve go. Off the arms of Tabitha Henry. She finds Debbie Jean Henry. The Bobcats are going to play it safely over the net. Rebels on the attack. They set up Taylor on the left wing. Her attempt tipped off the line and down as Debbie Jean Henry dove for that ball. She hit it, and she hit the mystery player in the face as that ball hits the face, goes to the ground. That's technically not a kill for Violet Taylor because of the two players hitting it, but it's match point in the arms of Casey Wilson as she serves it over, and that ball is going to be spiked into the net. The Rebels pick up a 3-sets-to-win victory over the number 2 Panguitch Bobcats. Very impressive here in the third set from the Rich County Rebels as they win this ball game 3-0 by the scores of 25-23, 25-21, and 25-14. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebels Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. We're going to go to a quick Gare Bear fan Phantom Cam as we do not have the video rights to this ball game. But that's not going to stop us from giving Gary McKee the respect that he deserves for sponsoring us. And in fact, all of our sponsors deserve a ton of respect as none of this is possible without them. So I just want to thank all of them. I'll thank them again before we leave. And you can see the Rebels are elated as Darlene Peterson and Janie Walentine. I wish we had a camera on because they did a pretty good dance there as I think they're going to go chew out Ellie Argyle's dad for that call. They all ran to him. They're all pumping their fists. They're excited. But we're going back to the Gare Bear Fan Cam. The Fan Cam is brought to you by Bear Lake Realty and broker Gary McKee in Garden City. Your home and real estate investment experts, beachfront property, a mountain retreat, year-round living or investment properties, whatever you're looking for, the real estate experts at Bear Lake Realty can help you find it. Visit bearlakerealty.com today. We'll be back right after this with our Mountain Valley Cattle Company post-game show. After the Rebels defeat the Panguitch Bobcats, number 1 over number 2 in the state of 1A volleyball. 3-0, 25-21, 25-23, 25-21, 25-14 are the score sets. We'll be back after this.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
Whatever brings you to Evanston, whether it's high school sports, a teaching conference, music festivals, speech and debate, or your job, always book your hotel reservations at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. With 165 ground-level rooms on 10 beautiful acres, the Best Western offers everything you need, including clean, comfortable rooms, a business office, workout room, and a full-service restaurant, plus a complimentary breakfast with every stay. Whenever you're in Evanston, make your hotel reservations with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn.
Time flies, especially when you're having fun. This is Jeremy Rex, manager at T-Bar S in Evanston. It's hard to believe that we've been here almost a year with our new management team and staff. Did you know that you can have your vehicle detailed, your windshield replaced, chip repair done, or get your trailer refinished or rewired at T-Bar S? Of course, we are a full-service collision repair shop, too. You can even change your oil and your brakes. Visit T-Bar S today. Let T-Bar fix your car. 515 County Road, Evanston.
Amazing people work at the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier. From the receptionists to the doctors, the x-ray techs to the food service staff, from the phlebotomist to housekeeping and everyone in between. The care you receive can't be matched anywhere else. We really care about your health. We care about you. We work hard to have top quality equipment and facilities and provide a wide range of services so we can serve every patient. When selecting your healthcare providers, choose Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. You'll feel the difference.
Welcome in to the Mountain Valley Cattle Company post-game show. Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho, supporting the Rich Rebels in all they do. Stay tuned for the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital post-game highlights and the final score. The final score. I'm a little fired up if you can't tell. The final score on the Station on Main scoreboard is the Rebels 3, the Bobcats 0. They win those sets 25-23, 25-21, 25-14. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. We'll be back right after this.
Success doesn't come by accident. Success requires hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and believing in yourself. Eddie and Todd Jensen established the Mountain Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho on these very principles. The students, staff, athletes, and coaches at Rich High School value these same fundamentals in education and activities, in athletics, and in life. Good luck, Rebels, from Mountain Valley Cattle Company, serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997.
Amazing people work at the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier. From the receptionists to the doctors, the x-ray techs to the food service staff, from the phlebotomist to housekeeping and everyone in between. The care you receive can't be matched anywhere else. We really care about your health. We care about you. We work hard to have top quality equipment and facilities and provide a wide range of services so we can serve every patient. When selecting your healthcare providers, choose Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. You'll feel the difference.
Welcome back to the Mountain Valley Cattle Company post-game show, where we are broadcasting live from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. Let's take a look at some post-game highlights brought to you by the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, the most caring hospital on earth. And we talked a lot about how this was number 1 and number 2 in the state. And if you're going to listen to my radio show this week, it's not going to be the last time you hear it, because that was a statement from the Rebels as they played the number 2 team in the state, the Panguitch Bobcats. Of course, the Rich Rebels number 1 in the RPI. Can't imagine that's going to change after they dispatched the Panguitch Bobcats 25-21 in the first set, or 25-23 in the first set, 25-21 in the LSR refrigerated second set, and 25-14 in the Rich County Government third set. The Rebels win 3 sets to none. But let's get to some stats real quick, as I just want to point out first, the Epic Recreation blocks, count them up there. It's 5 for Hannah Scott, 1 for Violet Taylor, 3 for Ellie Argyle. Not good at math, that's 9 so far. Then you give Darlene Peterson 2. That's 11, 12 epic recreation blocks for the Rich Rebels. And you can kind of tell it got to the Bobcats as they didn't attack at the net real often in that third set. That front line was very, very dominant for the Rebels. But let's get to the kills as Darlene Peterson had 14 kills. Violet Taylor had 8. Ellie Argyle with 10. Hannah Scott with 2. And then Peterson with an ace. Ellie Argyle with 2 aces. And then Hannah Scott has an ace with the 4 total team aces. And those have been your Bear Lake Memorial Hospital post-game highlights. Coming up next, the Dr. McKay Franklin Precision Play of the Game here on the Mound Valley Cattle Company post-game show. Today's final score on the Station on Main scoreboard, the Rebels win 3-0 over the Bobcats by the scores of 25-23, 25-21, 25-14. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Volleyball on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
So this is the reserve at Bear Lake, most beautiful place in the world. Come here and find out how you can buy your own Airbnb property and help pay for itself, or just come here and enjoy a second home. Sports courts, pools, hot tubs, access to 200 miles of mountain trails. Brand new homes now starting at $600,000. Quarter shares starting at $250,000. Would like you to invite you to be part of that. Call Gary McKee at Bear Lake Realty at 435-946-8888.
Hello, this is Dr. McKay Frankham. As a dentist in Evanston for over 20 years now, my mission has always been to provide quality dental care for people of all ages at reasonable prices. I'm a detail-oriented person, and it's important to me to stay current on new dental procedures and protocols that can help my patients have the best experience and have the best results. Over the years, I've also worked to keep my overhead low so that I can pass those savings on to my patients. I believe everyone deserves quality dental care. Please call us today at 307-789-8910.
We are broadcasting live from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth here at Richfield, Utah. We're at the Richfield tournament where the Rebels finish 5th after they take out the Panguitch Bobcats. And it's not really about the finish for the Rebels today. It's about who they got to play in that last game, and it was the Panguitch Bobcats, and the Rebels won 3-0. Let's take a look at the upcoming calendar for some Rich Rebel sports. Next week, we have just Friday worth of action as the football team is going to be at home versus Lyman while the Rebels will travel to North Summit in Colesville. We are for sure going to have the football game. I cannot promise you that we'll have the volleyball game, but I will do everything in my power to try to make it down to the volleyball game. It all is going to depend on how long the football game is. But we'll see. As I got distracted by an argument between the head coach and the referee in a different game, as there's still one more game left on the calendar. There's actually 2 more games. They're actually in a delay for the other one due to an injury. It was a pretty bad injury where a player got hit in the face pretty hard, and hopefully she's all right. But back to this task at hand, as we're in the middle of our calendar update. Actually, excuse me, we should be in the middle. We're actually going to go to our Dr. McKay Frankham precision play of the game, as a precision play of the game has to be the ace from Ellie Argyle that find the back line. And I've noticed a lot that we're saying her name as our precision play of the game, as she is very, very good at finding the absolute corners, as she did there. Once again, Ellie Argyle gets our precision play of the game. And another player that you hear her name a lot, Darlene Peterson, is going to be our player of the game just because she had 14 kills, 2 blocks, and an ace. But there were a lot. I think we're going to give it to We're going to do player of the games. I don't know if that's legal or not, but I'm making it up on the fly. It is today because we're going to give Hannah Scott some recognition because Hannah Scott, I think, mentally broke the Bobcats with her 5 blocks. Not only were Hannah Scott's 5 blocks, but they were all 5 blocks to the floor for points for the Rebels. and you can kind of tell they were starting to shy away from the net because of our front line. It was a very impressive night for the front line, as there was a lot of blocks in the prior game too. That's been our Dr. McKay Franco Precision Play of the Game and our Player of the Game. We'll be back with our calendar update after this. Actually, we already talked about the calendar update. It's going to be Friday. We'll have the football game at home versus Lyman. And once again, no promises, but we may have the volleyball game. It will depend on the football game. I'll have everything ready to go for volleyball just in case. But once again, it depends on the football game. If I can't make it in time, then we won't have the volleyball game. But if I can make it, I'll do my darndest to get out there. And that has been our calendar update. We'll be right back after this.
At Rich School District, we believe that success motivates individuals, and every student is capable of learning. We believe an effective classroom facilitates learning. We believe in the development of lifelong learners, and we believe that a quality education makes a difference. Student involvement equals student success. Currently, 93% of Rich High students participate in extracurricular activities. Rich School District, providing a quality, well-rounded education for each student.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
Whatever brings you to Evanston, whether it's high school sports, a teaching conference, music festivals, speech and debate, or your job, always book your hotel reservations at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. With 165 ground-level rooms on 10 beautiful acres, the Best Western offers everything you need, including clean, comfortable rooms, a business office, workout room, and a full-service restaurant, plus a complimentary breakfast with every stay. Whenever you're in Evanston, make your hotel reservations with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn.
Welcome back to Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast. We are broadcasting from Richfield, Utah, where the Rebels won 3-0 over the Panguitch Bobcats, a battle between number 1 and number 2 in the state. As we're going to go to our Freaky Fast recap of the game, and that is Jimmy John's, where freaky fast and fresh meat to make fresh, delicious gourmet sandwiches every day. Get some freaky fresh food today. I did. It was great. Jimmy John's, 113 Front Street, Evanston. And for our Freaky Fast recap, the Rebels win this game 3-0, 25-23 in the first set, 25-21 in the second set, 25-14 in the third set. And with that, we want to thank all of our sponsors today. I want to give a shout out to our pregame sponsors. I know we haven't been able to do a pregame show today, but we want to thank the town of Randolph for sponsoring the pregame show. We want to thank Bear Lake Visitors and Convention Bureau for sponsoring our scene set. And we also want to thank Ellingford Brothers for sponsoring our Standout Student of the Week. And then, of course, we want to thank Stacy's Repair for sponsoring our pregame coaches show. And one last thing before we go, if you could, please use all of our sponsors that you can, just because without them, any of this is possible, and this has been so much fun. It's been a long day, but it's been a fun day, just because it's been a great day of action for the Rebels. It's been a great year of action for the Rebels. I really enjoy what I do, and none of this is possible without our sponsors. So thank you to all of our sponsors. But until then, go Rebels.
The proceeding has been a sports production and sports broadcast of Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. No portion of this production can be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC.